Hi, I'm Roger from My Own Little Kitchen, and we're still doing strawberries. We love strawberries. We like to use strawberries in everything. Right now I'll be making a strawberry country cake. This makes 2 cakes, and you can either use both layers of cakes, or you can freeze one for a later date, take the one cake and cut it in half. That's probably what I'm going to do today. So we start with 1.5 sticks of butter, so that's 12 tablespoons. And 2 cups of sugar. Now we're going to want to make it light and fluffy, so it's going to take a few minutes. Now that the sugar and butter are stuck to each other, I'll turn this on a higher mixing speed to make it fluffier. I'll scrape this down, and then I'll be adding 4 eggs, one at a time, and let each one incorporate before I add the next. And of course, the butter, the eggs, the sour cream are all at room temperature. That helps them incorporate a little bit faster. Let me make sure everything is scraped down well. It looks pretty good, but it never hurts to do that one last cleanup. Make sure you get the beaters too, because a lot of times your ingredients will stick to the beaters. Now I'm adding 3/4 of a cup of sour cream, also at room temperature. And then I'm adding the zest of 1 lemon and 1 lime. It's a 1/2 teaspoon of each. And we're adding our vanilla, which is 1/2 teaspoon. Now I'm going to add some of our flour. We have 2 cups of flour. We have a 1/4 cup of cornstarch, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of baking soda, not powder. This one takes baking soda. Let me scrape down the sides, and then we'll give this another mix to incorporate it. Now I have 2 8-inch cake pans. The way to prepare these, you spray the bottom, or you can butter the bottom. Then you cut parchment paper out and put it just along the bottom, and then you spray or butter the parchment paper and the sides. The oven is already preheated to 350 degrees. In case you're wondering, I'm scraping down the paddle of the mixer here because there's a lot of cake batter on it. Now comes the fun part, trying to put an equal amount of batter in each cake. You want to try to get the cakes as level as possible. So let's smooth these down. All right, the cakes are going in. The oven is at 350. It'll take about 40 to 45 minutes. Hi, I'm Roger. Welcome back to my own little kitchen. I made some strawberry country cake. This is one of the cakes. Now I have to do the whipped cream for it. So this is 1 cup of heavy whipped cream. Containers vary. Some of them will say 8 ounces. Some of them will say half pint. Some of them will say 1 cup. It's all the same. Just be aware of the different sizes. To that, I'm adding 3 tablespoons of sugar and a half tablespoon of vanilla extract. Now I just took the bowl and the whisk out of the freezer. When you're doing whipped cream, it whips up better if the bowl and the whisk are chilled. You can put them in for about 15 minutes. Now it's going to get loud because you have to whip this on a high speed. And you just want to do it until it's firm. You don't have to do it all the way till it gets to stiff peaks. While this continues whipping, I'm going to go ahead and cut the cake in half horizontally. You see I have the handle of this utensil here. That's to help keep me from cutting the cake at an unusual angle. Hopefully it will help me cut it straight. You see how it's holding on to the bottom of the whisk? That's about the consistency you want. Let me clean up. All right, let us continue. Take the top half of the cake and flip it over. Take the bottom, put it on your serving plate. And then you want to take about half of the whipped cream and put it on this layer here. The very difficult part of this is keeping your face out of the whipped cream. I just want to dive right into it. You want to bring it all the way to the edges. Now there's a couple ways you can do this. If you don't want to frost the entire cake and just want to do the top of the top layer, you can put extra frosting here so that when you put the top layer on, it oozes out of the sides. Or you can leave it like this, do the rest of the cake, put the top layer on, and then frost the whole thing. You can do it either way and it'll still look impressive. Now I have 1 pint of washed, hulled, sliced strawberries. There's no rhyme or reason, just throw them over the top of this. You don't have to cover every single spot. Again, strawberries, strawberries, strawberries. It's strawberry season, let's make the most of it. By the way, these are just sliced strawberries. There was no sugar added to them. They are not macerated. They are just fresh cut and put right on top. Feel free to overlap them. Now you place the top half that you cut off, and put it over. Then you take the rest of your whipped cream, and again, you can either just do the top half or put a thinner layer on and cover the whole cake. I think you can tell which way I decided to go on this. I have some of the whipped cream topping going over the sides, and I've used up almost the entire amount of whipped cream that I did. So kind of like a deconstructed cake. Now in this bowl, I have 4 strawberries that were halved and hulled and of course washed. And you could decorate the cake any way you want. I just like this for looks and for also proportioning out the slices of cake. This way everybody gets a slice. Unless you're serving this cake right away, it needs to chill in the refrigerator because of the whipped cream. If it's going to be more than 4 hours, you want to cover the cake so that it doesn't take the smells from whatever else is inside your refrigerator. But I don't think this is going to last 4 hours. I'm Roger. Thanks for joining me again in my own little kitchen.